Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, today we will try to cover another topic, a very important topic, that is class for both 11th and 12th class students. Because in classes we have to discuss a relative clause as well as the conditional clause. But our today's topic is generally about clause and its main types. Now, first of all, what actually clauses are, and also at the same time we should know the difference among clauses, phrases, and the sentence. What actually clause is, and what is the phrase, and what is the sentence. So first of all, we will try to cover the difference among these 3 points. Now, first of all, what actually the sentence is. Sentence means group of words containing a subject and predicate, but the very important thing is always gives us a complete sentence. That means group of words containing subject and predicate, but always gives us a complete sentence. Means group of words, subject and predicate. What actually subject and what is the predicate? Subject means what or whom the sentence is about. Subject means what or whom the sentence is about, or simply the doer of an action. What actually predicate tells us something about the subject. Now, this is the definition about sentence. Group of words containing subject and predicate always gives us a complete sentence. What actually clause is? Group of words. Clause is also a group of words containing subject and predicate, but may or may not give a complete sentence. Sometimes it gives us a complete sentence, while as sometimes it doesn't give us a complete sentence. Otherwise, the difference between sentence and the subject is when it gives us a complete sentence. When sometimes it gives us a complete sentence, it is just like a sentence. Clause is just like a sentence. And the third one, that is phrase. Phrase actually means group of words, but lacks a subject. Group of words, but lacks a subject. That is called as phrase. These are the 3 main important points. You should also know the difference in these 3 points. Now, our topic is that is clause. As per the Merriam-Webster dictionary, what they thought, clause is a group of related words containing a subject and a predicate and functioning as a member of complex and compound sentence. You should also know the sentence structure. While first of all you should know about the clause, then you will clear about complex as well as the compound sentence, because complex compound sentences are made through these clauses. And that is why clause means group of words containing subject. Subject means the doer of an action, or the sentence means what or whom the sentence is about, while as the predicate means tells us something about the subject, and functioning as a member, and their main function as a member of complex or compounds. When we form a complex or compound sentence, we use these clauses to form sentence, compound or a complex sentence. Next very definition is clause is a group of related words containing a subject and predicate. Clause is a group of words, related words containing a subject and a predicate, and may or may not give a complete sentence. That is why here this clause is different from the sentence. While a sentence always gives us a complete sentence, while the clause may give us a complete sentence, and in that case it is just like a sentence. May not give us a complete sentence, that is something else we will describe in detail. Like some examples: I laughed, I'm a boy, I'm a teacher, I will meet him, I met him yesterday, he won the prize, the teacher asked a question but no one answered, he met the boy who was very intelligent, he met the thief who stole my necklace. These are all different types of clause, in which somewhere we use a single clause and somewhere we use 2 or more than 2 clauses. This is just a simple definition about the class. Now we will discuss in detail about the two main types of class. There are two main categories of class: main class, principal class, or independent class. Now first of all, what actually is main class? Main class, group of words containing subject and predicate, while as the main important point in main class is the class which expresses a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. That is the main important point in this class. The class which expresses a complete thought. That is why it is just like a sentence. The class which gives us a complete sense, which gives us a complete meaning, which gives us a complete thought, and can stand alone as a sentence. That is the very important. That is why it is called as independent. And we can in the main class we can stand it as alone. Like in main class we use the subject and the verb and always gives us a complete thought. Like he became angry. I am a teacher. He killed the tiger. He killed the snake. Why when I came here I saw him. And in that very clause, in that very sentence, I met the boy who had helped me. I met the boy. You can also take it individually, independently. He takes medicines because he suffers from fever. He takes medicines. You can take it independently because it's an independent clause which gives us a complete thought and can stand alone. That means the main clause, the main important point in the main clause is it gives us a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. There are many more examples. And one thing more. When you combine more than one clause, when you combine two or more than two clauses, we use a coordinator. We use a conjunction known as coordinating conjunction. That means when we combine two main clauses, when we combine main clause with other main clause, we use a conjunction known as coordinating conjunction. We use a conjunction known as coordinating conjunction or simply a coordinator. Or simply a coordinator. Like I like oranges, but my friend likes bananas. Yeah, I like biscuits and he likes Lays. These are the clauses when we join these two clauses together. When we join two main clauses together, we use a conjunction to join these clauses. That conjunction is called as coordinating conjunction. And you should simply know the formula about the coordinators. How many words we should use to join these two clauses, two main clauses, two independent clauses. There is a simple formula that is fan boys, for and or but or yet so. For and or but or yet so. Inshallah, in the conjunction chapter we will discuss in detail where we use for, where we use and or but or yet so. That is that time. Generally we use coordinators to join two main clauses. When we have two main clauses, we should join these two clauses with a coordinator or coordinating conjunction. And for that we use fan boys, for and or but or yet so. Now the next category, that is subordinating conjunction or dependent. The word itself means dependent, which is dependent upon someone else, which is dependent upon others. Subordinating conjunction, that conjunction which contains subject, predicate, but the very important thing which differentiates it from main clause, that is the clause which does not express a complete thought and can't stand alone as a sentence, but depends upon the main clause for its complete meaning. The clause which doesn't express a complete thought, complete sentence, complete meaning. That is the differentiation. That differentiates it from main clause, which doesn't express a complete thought and cannot stand alone as a sentence, but depends upon the main clause. Where we use dependent clause, we should also use main clause. Otherwise, dependent clause has no meaning on its own. We should use main clause on its own. Like a single example, I met the boy who had helped me. If we take it who had helped me, there is no meaning of its own. Until or unless we should put main clause to it, who had helped me does not give us a complete sense. Second one, he is wearing a shirt which looks nice. If we take which looks nice independently, there is no meaning of its own. He is wearing a shirt, that is the main clause. You should take it independently. But which looks nice, we should put the main clause so that we should form a meaning of this dependent clause. He is wearing a shirt which looks nice, that is shirt which looks nice, that is the dependent clause. Dependent clause has no meaning of its own, but depends upon the main clause for its own meaning. If we don't put a main clause on its own, then dependent clause don't have any meaning on its own. That is why dependent clause have a subject and a verb, but doesn't express a complete thought until or unless we don't put main clause to it. And when we combine dependent clause with main clause, because already we know where we had dependent clause, we have also main clause. When we combine these dependent clause with main clause, we have also a conjunction known as subordinator or subordinating conjunction. And subordinating conjunction is a conjunction which combines, which connects, which joins main clause with dependent clause. That means, in other words, subordinating clause introduces a dependent clause. Subordinating clause introduces a dependent clause. That means when we combine main clause with dependent clause, we should also use a conjunction known as the subordinator or subordinating conjunction. And some subordinating clauses are introduced by relative pronouns like that, who, whom, which, what, whose, and some by subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are many. It is not main clauses in which we should remember only fan, boys, foreign, or but, or, yet, so. But in subordinating clause we have many subordinating conjunctions like although, though, because, if, unless, until, for, as soon as, until or unless, whether, if. There are many more which combine a subordinate clause with the main clause. They are called as subordinating conjunction. Some examples: I saw a man who was crying. If we take it independently, who was crying, it doesn't give us a complete sound, complete sense. But we have to put the main clause, I saw a man. Ls, I saw a man, it takes it as individual, that is called as independent clause. I saw a man. If it rains, I won't go to school. I won't go to school, that is the main clause. While as if it rains, then what? If we take it, if it rains, it doesn't sound well, it doesn't give us a complete sense. I won't go to school. That is also, we can take it as individually. I will not go to school. But if it rains, we should put main clause so that it will give us a complete sentence. What then? If it rains, what? I know the man who stole my watch. I know the man who stole my watch. If we take it, who stole my watch, it doesn't give us it. It gives us a question, who stole my watch. But when we put a main clause, I know the man, then it will give us the sense about the man. I know that man who stole my watch. He bought a car which was too expensive. Which was too expensive, it doesn't sound pretty, it doesn't give us a complete sense. But when we put a main clause on it, he bought a car. He bought a car, that is the antecedent, bought a car which was too expensive, that was very expensive. It was little bit about the clause and its two main categories. Inshallah, in my next video lecture we will discuss about the relative clause, and afterwards we will talk about the conditional clause. Thanks.